welcome to another highly questionable work week. What we got today, Bo?
Why y'all keep mistreating Carmelo Anthony, man?
Still, man? Vamos, papi.
Should Saturday night give the Thunder more or less confidence that they can beat the Warriors?
What a great game that was. How much fun was that? The Oklahoma City Thunder, when they step onto a court with the Golden State Warriors, still have two of the three best players. But how discouraging is this, Bomani? Steph Curry gets hurt during that game. Draymond Green gives you 2 points. Kevin Durant plays out of his mind. You're at home and you lose anyway. Those are not things that inspire confidence, even though you had the game won in the last 10 seconds. You would have won if you hadn't botched the last 10 seconds.
No, I think they should feel pretty confident for an important reason. They didn't botch the game in the last 10 seconds. Kevin Durant botched the game in the last 10 seconds. Then Kevin Durant fouled out at the beginning of overtime on a silly foul. Now, why we don't give him the typical superstar treatment, I don't know. But it's not like anybody's going to blame Kevin Durant for that after the fact. It's not like they're going to be down on Kevin Durant after the fact. They've got two guys that the Warriors can't stop. And the Draymond Green that we saw in February isn't the Draymond Green we saw most of the year. What makes the Warriors so good is they got all these dudes that shoot 40% from three-point range. As of right now, Draymond Green isn't one of them. The Thunder should feel encouraged, just like they made a bunch of stupid mistakes.
Do you think that no one is going to criticize Kevin Durant? I'm going to criticize Kevin Durant. You know, this guy, I knew that he was going to choke in the big moment. You know, I'm telling you something, you can count on Durant for anything. You know, that's the reason he doesn't have no rings. That was a moment of glory, and he blew it. He fell out of the game. He made boneheaded mistake, you know. And they got to trade Durant. That's it. That's it. Really, you got to do something. You got to trade Durant.
He actually had a very good game and hit what would have been the dagger if he had not thrown the game away right after. It's a complex thing with Kevin Durant.
Billy,
no, when it counted, though.
All right.
Yeah, that's really, he got 30-some points, and they lost anyhow.
Okay, you mentioned that.
Should the Warriors be worried about Draymond Green and Steve Kerr's beef?
Yeah, right after halftime, Lisa Salters came out and let us know there was a big hubbub in the locker room, and she wasn't sure who it was, but she thought it was Draymond Green, saying that he was not a robot, and if you didn't want him to shoot, he wasn't going to shoot for the rest of the second half. And my personal favorite, come sit me down, when people tried to tell Draymond Green to sit down. I don't know if they need to worry about the beef, but the reality is he shoots a lot fewer threes now that Steve Kerr has come back. He was shooting way more with Luke Walton, and Steve Kerr wants him to wait later in the possessions before he shoots. That seems to be an insult to a guy that was doing really well when he was shooting the threes at the time that he wanted to. I don't think they need to worry about the beef, but I do wonder if Steve Kerr might need to give him more rope.
Ethan Strauss, who covers this team, I had a conversation with him about this before any of this happened. And he was saying that Draymond Green and Steve Kerr are always going at each other. They're always bumping heads. They have arguments all the time on the sidelines, that Steve Kerr understands that one of the ways to get Draymond Green going, according to Tom Izzo, is to coach him that way. Steve Kerr understands more than most, as a teammate of Michael Jordan, who got punched in the face by Michael Jordan, that this stuff is conflict that sometimes helps you a little bit. Draymond's got to play better, but that guy on that team conflicted with that coach, not a problem.
Here's the question, though. When's the coach going to realize that maybe, just maybe, his approach to Draymond Green is part of why he's not playing as well as he did before?
Hey, Steve, you don't want to get punched in the face by Draymond Green. You know, he got a heavy punch. That's I mean, Michael Jordan was big and all that, but he had a weak punch. This guy is compact, buddy, and he had the punch of a champion, you know?
I mean, you don't want
How do you know that?
He looked like a tiger to me. He looked like somebody that wants some action for a change.
He does look like he got heavy hands, though. I will say that.
Should the rest of the Cavs be as worried about their team as J.R. Smith seems to be?
He says there's a high level of concern. They get blown out against the Washington Wizards after losing in Toronto, a very close game. And, you know, the questions start about the mental toughness of the team, because you've got to explain these losses somehow, and that will do as an explanation. Tristan Thompson was talking about it was embarrassing to not put up more of a fight. And, of course, you should put up more of a fight. I think the larger concern, though, is LeBron James didn't play, and even if he does play, it feels like Steph Curry is closing that window on LeBron a lot faster than any of us thought it could be closed.
I have to give you some credit. You somehow got all the way through that without saying the two magic words that seem to be the issue for the Cavs right now. Kyrie Irving. Hey, man, Kyrie's really good at getting buckets for Kyrie. He's also pretty good at letting other teams' point guards get buckets. John Schumann of NBA.com had a tweet yesterday just showing the list of what the players have been doing that he's been guarding, including Kyle Lowry for 15 for 20 on Friday night against them, including John Wall lighting them up this weekend. And then Chris Haynes of the Northeast Ohio Media Group has sources saying that LeBron is getting tired of the fact that Kyrie can't do anything to make anyone else better. What's going to happen as this year goes on is going to be a referendum on Irving, because it seems everything is pointing toward him being the guy that gets blamed if this doesn't go right.
I think that you have to blame the general manager. LeBron, he selected these players. I mean, if they don't play defense, that's his fault. Nobody else's fault.
I mean, he decided that this is the team that he wanted to get on, and he thought that he would get help distributing from Kyrie Irving. Apparently, LeBron doesn't watch as much as the NBA as we thought he did, because there hasn't been anything to indicate that that's what that dude was going to do for you.
Kevin Love is in a corner saying, yeah, no blame for me, like everybody else. Get out of here.
Why is there just one Hispanic manager in baseball when 30% of players are Hispanic?
Can you name him? Do you think that you can name him? Because the correct answer is Freddie Gonzalez is the one Hispanic manager, and he's Hispanic the way I'm Hispanic, which is you can't totally be sure that he's Hispanic, and maybe you need to put a Cuban guy with a loud accent on television to show that he's Hispanic because he doesn't look and sound Hispanic. I think one of the larger problems, now keep in mind, a lot of broadcasters in the sport, most of them are white, not minorities. A lot of the executives in the sport, not a lot of minorities. I think the larger problem is how few managers you have communicating in Spanish with their players. Dusty Baker could do some of it. Tony La Russa could too. But even if you want to get the race angle out of this, the idea of fundamental communication when a lot of your league doesn't speak English, it would seem to be a job trait you'd want in that position.
It doesn't just seem like a job trait you'd want in that position. It seems like a job trait that you would require. Dan, you talk all the time about Frank Robinson saying when he managed Vladimir Guerrero, he didn't even talk to him at all because he was afraid that something would go wrong. But why is there only one Hispanic manager? You got to understand how integration works in this country. Integration only typically comes around when somebody thinks there's a job that white people are not supposed to be able to do. People think that white dudes can manage baseball teams, therefore there will be no effort to go find somebody else to do it. Because why do that when you can go find one of these white dudes? That's just how it works.
The more bothersome part, if you're offended by this kind of thing, is the number of people like Robin Ventura and Mike Matheny who don't even have to have any experience to get the job. If your qualification is you don't have to have any experience, there are plenty of Latin people that could do that.
You're Hispanic? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have known if we hadn't put him here. You wouldn't have known.
Honestly, if I walked down the street with Dan, they'll probably make me as the Hispanic guy. They'd be so disappointed when they find out I'm not Dominican. They don't know what to do.
If you were Carmelo Anthony, would you feel that Amari Stoudemire's comments were directed at you?
All right, now one thing we need to start with is a little bit of a trip down memory lane. When Amari Stoudemire got to New York, he became the guy that New York had been waiting on. He embraced the environment, and he was the leader of that team, and he feels like positive things were going on while he was there, and now he feels that somehow somebody is messing everything up in New York now that he's not there. Even made some references to what happened with Jeremy Lin and saying that people need to share the spotlight. It all screamed out Melo, Melo, Melo. Melo on the other end says, if I had a problem with somebody else becoming a star or a fan favorite, then I'd have a problem with Porzingis, and he has no problem with that. Why do we do this to Carmelo Anthony? That year where everybody said how selfish he was, the Jeremy Lin year, he had the highest assist percentage of his career. And why in the world would that guy ever be asked to take a back seat to Jeremy Lin when you don't even know who Jeremy Lin plays for anymore? I just can't figure out why it is that Melo is the guy that everybody blames for a mess that's been a mess for 15 or 20 years.
That's a good question. Why do we do this to Carmelo Anthony? I think an even better question is, why did Amari Stoudemire do this to Carmelo Anthony? Because the quotes scream Carmelo Anthony without saying his name, specifically as it relates to Jeremy Lin. And Bomani's history lesson is important. Amari Stoudemire was an MVP candidate when Carmelo got there. So he gave the floor to Carmelo, and he sees it through that prism. Hey, you might want to give some other people that kind of space. If I'm Carmelo, though, who seems stunned by this afterward, I'm wondering, why did Amari give me such a big and vigorous hug before that game on the court? Because that's not what he was talking about in the locker room.
You guys think that Carmelo cares what Amari says?
No, probably.
Yeah, all he got to do is look at his paycheck. You know, he said, let me see how much money I'm making per game. Look at Stoudemire's paycheck. I said, who's this guy?
Yeah,
I never heard of this guy before.
He's got a point. You can be a legend on the court or a legend at the bank. I'll take number two every single time.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
Oh, how are we going to? Okay, well, there you go. That's one. Oh, that looked like it hurt a lot at the end.
He's laughing.
You guys really putting that in slow motion?
Yep, they did.
My Son's TV show is brought to you by Joseph A. Bank, unparalleled heritage of quality men's attire. Time to play the game that likes to go slow and then go fast. Do you question?
Works every time. Give us topics and events, and we question them.
Do you question if Chris Jones made the right move going to the ground?
All right, Chris Jones went to Mississippi State. Chris Jones was running the 40-yard dash. Just play it. Just play
Oh,
it.
I've seen this. Oh, dear Lord, and I can't erase the fact that I've seen this. Oh, how are we going to? Okay, well, there you go. That's one way to explain to people what happened there. Oh, that looked like it hurt a lot at the end.
He's laughing.
Yeah.
Is that AstroTurf? I'm not actually looking.
Going to go ahead and need to fix all of that there. Okay,
All
very
right,
good.
trainer's there.
You guys really
Take a
putting that
look,
in
but
slow
it looks like
motion?
he's all
Yep,
right.
they did. And that happened live on television, by the way, which was much worse than anything that happened with Janet Jackson. Much worse.
But here's the thing. I mean, when you sign up to watch the combine, is that not like the? I don't know what to make of this.
No. When I sign up to watch
Like, I don't watch the combine.
No,
I don't watch the
no,
Look. You know if it's going to be a bunch of dudes running around in their draws, anything can happen.
Right. I mean, he's right about the larger point that it's a meat market. I just didn't,
You know, that's a bad place to get a rug burn.
Oh, my God. I
Telling you something,
I
that's
can't
right.
think. Is there any worse? Can you think of any on the human body and the history of the human body worse than that?
I spent all weekend wondering how awkwardly we were going to bring this up on the show, and it's matched every expectation that I had.
Most awkwardly.
It would have never happened if he had been wearing a cup.
No, just like my father does every day on the show. That never would have happened.
Do you question if this was better than a Steph buzzer beater?
What was better this weekend than Steph's buzzer beater? We got Real Madrid and Valencia. The game is close late. Let's see what we've got here. You've got it's 92-92.
Oh, basketball. Okay.
Okay, and that is, you thought it was soccer. 1.3 seconds left. Yeah, that's better than Steph's buzzer beater. How is that not better than Steph's buzzer beater?
I mean, the reason it's not better is that was a heave where Steph actually took a jumper, and I think Steph also from that place could, take a jumper.
Okay, but this was less of a heave. It was, but it kind of a terrible set shot form.
We are not going to diminish Steph Curry on Steph Curry weekend. All we're supposed to do these days is say nice things about Steph Curry. That don't wear off until tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough.
I tell you whose buzzer beater wasn't better than Steph Curry's.
Was or wasn't?
Was not.
Let's see, whose?
LeBron. That's right, LeBron.
LeBron,
wow.
yes.
There we go.
Yes, buzzer beater again. He's been so bad at those this year. Oh, LeBron.
This is just what we're doing now, huh?
But very quiet.
He can shoot threes now. And never mind when the game is on the line, he shrinks.
That is the strangest thing, though. He can't shoot threes anymore, and it's a real problem.
It's weird. It's weird.
Do you question if Mohamed Sanu's proposal was romantic?
We go out to Wembley Stadium because apparently Mohamed Sanu is that guy. What guy? The guy who proposes in public.
Oh, not just in public, but in the stadium. Really? Mohamed. My father loves asking the romance questions. Is that romantic? Doing it not only in public, but doing it in a stadium? And why Wembley Stadium?
I guess that's where they...
Okay. Do we have any history here? Is she from there? Was she born in that seat? What was happening there? What is the history that puts us at Wembley Stadium?
That had great potential to go really bad, by the way, because you never know when they're going to set it off over there at one of them soccer games. You be trying to propose, and all of a sudden it's a Donnybrook.
Yeah, that would be bad. Your romance interrupted by hooliganism, never good.
Do you question if this track race crowd got their money's worth?
Something's going to catch on fire,
of course. This question is so great. Let's see. The foreshadowing becomes what? Oh, what is going to happen here?
It's going to be a pedal fest, is it? Who's going to grab a gear?
Oh, they both stalled out?
Try and find a gear.
Keep on going.
Oh, keep moving. Yeah, you got to keep going. They both stalled out.
I would love to see this with the Chariots of Fire playing in the
come on,
background.
man. Now it's Ricky Bobby. Come on, and Sarah. It's Sacha Baron Cohen. What is this? Come on, that can't be legal.
We're talking about a 40
Hey, man, you can't quit.
lead.
This is moving. This is like that time that Byron Leftwich, offensive lineman, was carrying him down the field, baby.
Oh, God, you gotta be kidding me. This is such disappointing video. We thought there was gonna be an explosion. Somebody was gonna fly into the sky.
Oh, there's still time for an explosion.
Well, that happened in Australia, eh?
That's correct.
You want to see my Australian accent? All right, mate. This race, they didn't really go out the way we wanted to go out. I didn't get my money's worth. Should we try another trip on the Barbie? Serious.
It's just you with your head put back. Like, that's not an accent.
I'm done with you. Gail, we done. It is true. I hit that dude for the work. Stick and move. Then I skirt. What is up with you? Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that is feeling amorous. See or no?
No. You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued.
On NBA TV, Thunder and Kings.
Sure, I'm always interested in Russell Westbrook playing basketball. Something else I'm interested in, Boogie Cousins and Chris Paul. They seem to have some issues. They escalated last time we saw the Kings. Look at this. This is Boogie. Didn't like that so much. And that is not Boogie trying to save the ball from going out of bounds. That is Boogie. Get out of here, man.
I say, though, there's some quick thinking to that because he knew it would go out of bounds and they get the ball back and they wouldn't lose possession.
Yeah, I mean, he's down. I'm sorry, I got distracted. He's down 18. What was that, 20 points? Bomani, are you intrigued?
I am intrigued. Underrated part of that also, the Clippers were smoking the Kings. I'm surprised that it worked out as non-violently as it did right there.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, Boogie Cousins better be careful because Chris Paul, he plays rough.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I don't think the word is rough.
Well,
what you're looking for is dirty.
Okay,
it's dirty pool.
I would say in that area of the body, that's
yeah,
rough.
there's that one.
Rough and dirty. Yeah, that's you do got to be careful, Boogie, because he's already down there.
Funny thing is, that's not even the worst Chris Kamen has ever had done to him. Reggie Evans
that's right.
once
Reggie Evans,
delicately.
That's right.
It wouldn't happen to me because I wear a cap.
All right, there it is again. All right, excellent. Great.
On Fox Sports Southwest, Red Wings and Stars.
Oh, sure. I'll take part in this, even though I'm kind of lying. But we do have video for you here of an outdoor game that was played yesterday. Jeremy Roenick was fooling around, playing with a kid. And what did that look like?
I'm in the pitching cage during baseball. They see how fast you throw it. I'm going to see how fast we can hit. I got my little partner right here, Joey. Are you ready for this little competition?
Yeah!
All right, let's see what you got. Go do it. Wow, 33. Okay, my turn. Hold that.
Oh,
35.
yeah.
I got it. But you did a good job, pal. But I got about 160 pounds on you, though.
I can tell. You should probably hit the gym.
Are you kidding me? Did you hear that? Oh, my God. I just got thrown under the bus by Joe.
Oh, Bomani, are you intrigued?
You do not talk to the greatest hockey video game player of all time that way, little man. Somebody break out the Genesis so we can learn who he's disrespected.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Yeah, he got a few extra pounds. No wonder he couldn't catch that alligator.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Good memory, Poppy. Yes, that is what prevented Jeremy Roenick from being able to sneak up on that alligator.
Which, by the way, is probably the best thing that ever happened to him. He was quick enough to run away from the alligator, which I think is really the test of physical fitness.
Another reason for that kid not to taunt him about his weight, though, because Jeremy Roenick does stuff like that to alligators.
On ABC tonight, The Bachelor.
Knew it.
Man, what are you laughing about? Get out of here, man. Come on, man. Let's see what we've got here.
I'm excited to find that right moment where I'm looking into his eyes and I tell him I'm in love with him.
Ben, I love you.
I know that I'm in love with you.
I don't ever want this to end. And I do love you.
I'm completely in love with Ben. He's the guy of my dreams.
But that uncertainty of not knowing where he is in the other relationships gets stronger and stronger.
He might be waking up with these other women this week, but I want to be the woman he wakes up next to for the rest of his life.
I just couldn't imagine him feeling that way with someone else.
I know I'm in love with two women here. I never saw this coming because I didn't think my heart was capable. Honestly, I do love you. This is really hard for me because I've known I'm in love with you for a while as well. I told two women this week that I love them. I am terrified because I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I can't help how I feel.
Bomani, are you intrigued?
I've never heard so many people tell such obvious lies, just straight face, as like at least 60% of the people that they showed right there. Can't everybody in there be in love like that?
Boppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. You know, this guy knows what he's doing. He has a hell of a strategy. You know, he says, I love you, I love you, I love you to everybody. You know, maybe one of them will stick around. You never know.
Yeah.
That's a hell you cannot lose if you go that route.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until your car's keyed up.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
I got a big cup here.
Cup.
Let's see yours then.
Cup is what he said.
That's right. Cup.
All right. How's that working out for me? Yeah.
What kind of family ritual is this?